Hello everybody, welcome back to LAB. Sorry there was no video last week, there was simply no time to upload one. So now I don't know where we are in terms of whether this is supposed to be law, broader or whatever. But I do know that I've been wanting to talk to you about some fairly major legal news for a couple of weeks now, which is the takeover of Riverview Law by Ernst & Young. Those of you who follow me on social media will know that I've been on a bit of a journey with this news story. I've posted on it at least 3 times, and each with a slightly different take on what this deal actually means for the profession and for the market generally. And that's come through me reading and listening to people's comments about this deal and trying to understand what this really means and what the significance of it is. So if I start by explaining who Ernst & Young are and who Riverview are, we know Ernst & Young, they are one of the big 4 accountancy firms, and this follows on really nicely from my video about Tales of the Tech Revolution, in particular part 1, which talks about drivers of change and in particular competition from potentially the big 4 accountancy firms in providing alternative legal services. The big 4 accountancy firms providing legal services is not a new thing, but what this deal symbolises is that Ernst & Young are really moving forward and they want to take control of their provision of the legal services market. They're not just dabbling in it to provide services to their own existing clients, but they are really trying to make a statement in the market. Riverview Law are an alternative legal services provider, and their focus is they place the client at the centre of their business. So they've done away with the billable hour, and what they do is they focus on what the client needs are and they build their business around it. And that's largely by trusting their own personnel and technology. And this is the business model that EY want to adopt going forward, because they have the ability and a massive client base to provide alternative legal services to a huge section of the market, and potentially some of the consumers in that market who currently go to more traditional law firm models. Because what the good thing about EY is that they provide services in an alternative way. So they don't have to structure their targets by the billable hour, and they don't have to get clients in on that basis. Essentially, they have a much more flexible business model that doesn't rely on billable hours, and that could be a lot more attractive to not only their own clients but clients in the wider market. There have been all kinds of rumours about this deal, people looking into the figures and the fact that Riverview was in a lot of debt, and why is this such a big move when certain other traditional law firms have been using the same kind of technology that Riverview have been using for a number of years. But for me, these aren't the major issues here. It doesn't really matter how much the deal went down for. What matters is the impact that this deal potentially has on the shape of services provision in the legal marketplace going forward, and the impact on consumers and where consumers are seeking to find their legal services from. But this deal symbolises a really heavyweight step from Ernst & Young, and it looks like they're really looking to secure their place in the legal services market. So watch out, traditional law firms, EY coming for you. Other interesting bits of news this week, Clifford Chance are now offering an alternative training contract which is focused on technology. So those of you who have been wondering in recent months why I've been going so crazy about technology, is because this is a big deal. It's happening. Law firms are embracing it, alternative legal services providers are embracing it, and it's going to become a major part of your future as an aspiring lawyer. So this is why I'm encouraging you so much to get involved in technology, because having an aptitude for technology is going to do wonders for you in your future career. Anyway, going back to Clifford Chance training contract, there are relatively few places available as I understand it, but it will essentially run alongside their traditional training contract, but will allow you to qualify with more of a tech qualification. My understanding is that the people who will be accepted onto the alternative tech training contract will have some kind of vested interest in technology or prior history involved in technology. Either they've made their own startup or they've potentially done some kind of undergraduate degree which is tech focused. But I really like this because technology, as I say over and over again, is going to become such an important part of the future of the legal profession that having a training contract which is geared around it is going to be so useful to you. Clifford Chance are not the first ones to do this. Allen & Overy also released something in March which is along very similar lines, which is another tech focused training contract. So once again, I say to you, get into technology. It's going to be important for you. Other bits of legal news. Other bits of legal news in recent history are the fact that Kaplan have announced themselves as the provider for the SQE. We don't know much more than that, but it's going to take place at Kaplan, and as I've said, as more information becomes available, I will try and provide it to you. But at the moment, we know little more than that. We don't know how much it's going to cost or any more about dates or implementation, but as soon as I know more, I will tell you more. On the theme of training contracts, those of you who are still looking to apply for training contracts but haven't quite got around to it yet, there are still a very few firms which are open for applications until the end of August. I will link the page from lawcareers.net which tells you which ones they are so you can diarise accordingly. Okay, that's all my news for this week. I will be back again with some law in a couple of weeks and I will see you then. Thanks very much guys, bye bye.